Hello everybody, welcome to the Authentically Blue podcast. I am your host Kalson. In this episode, I will introduce the podcast, some housekeeping on how I plan on doing this, where the name came from, and why I'm doing this in the first place. The name of the podcast, Authentically Blue. I have always done my best to stay authentic to me throughout the different stages of my life, no matter how much I change or whatever I go through. And it's a tricky thing to navigate, especially in a world that consistently wants us to change who we are and our personalities. This pressure can come from people in our lives, friendships, family, relationships of any sort, anyone really. Especially now in this digital world we live in, it's easy to get consumed and think we're not good enough or question who we are and want to change ourselves just to be enough while we are enough as we are. Yes, there are things we need to work on as human beings to improve and be better versions of ourselves, but there's this extreme pressure and influence that's constantly making people feel like they're not worthy or they're not good enough, and it's sad and frustrating. This is why I love authenticity. I am drawn to people who are authentic in their real lives. I love authentic experiences, and it's difficult for some people to be authentic, which I get that, but I love authenticity. I enjoy encouraging people to be who they are in life and be authentic to them, because everybody is unique in their own way. I can't imagine how boring life would be if everyone was just the same. We need a little spice in there, some seasoning. The term or the word blue comes from feeling low or sad, winter blues, feeling blue. And I am huge on mental health, big on people feeling and accepting their feelings, the good, the bad, and the ugly. This is challenging sometimes, especially, as I said, in this society we live in. And hence the name Authentically Blue. I want people to be or learn to be their authentic selves and accept who they are. This podcast I will touch on in a moment. An aspect of it will be focused on mental health because I am interested and passionate about that. Yes, that's how I came up with the name. I felt like it rhymed. I loved the meaning behind the words. I did share the trailer with a few friends and family members, and some people did not get it, which is fine. This is my reasoning behind naming the podcast. The symbol on the cover is a butterfly. I love butterflies, and it signifies growth and transformation. It's a nickname that I was given by two family members, and it stuck throughout the years. I don't know who gave me the nickname first, but I love it. It provides me so much joy. The release schedule. I plan on releasing episodes every Monday at the start of the week, so you can listen to this on your commute, in the morning, or on your way back home, whether it's from school or work. You can listen to this to unwind with a loved one. I enjoy listening to podcasts when I'm doing my laundry or going for a walk. Hot girl walks. I don't do hot girl walks, I just do walks. But I do love walking and being in nature. Sometimes I don't listen to podcasts. Sometimes I don't listen to music and I just be in nature. Sometimes I listen to music. Sometimes I listen to podcasts. It alternates with how I'm feeling. But I do have my to-go-to podcasts that I enjoy. Hopefully this would be one for you. My podcast is available anywhere you listen to podcasts. Subscribe on your favorite platform so that you can be notified when an episode is released. A few disclaimers before I move on to the structure of this podcast. I am not an expert in any of these topics I will be discussing, but I do plan on bringing people who are. I am speaking from my experience and my point of view, which very well may differ from yours, which is, it's gonna be interesting for you. Some people it may be similar, some people it may be different, but it is what it is. I am excited to hear opposing views or views that are similar and your thoughts in general. Secondly, the thoughts I have now are my thoughts at this stage of my life in this moment and are probably going to change in the future, depending on the information I get as I grow as a person. As butterflies, flying away, growing, experiencing different things, going through transformation. Society has this way of making people feel like they can't change their mind, making them feel guilty or feel a certain way. I don't know whether it's society or people, but there is that pressure, and I am here to debunk this. I have heard of people say it's okay to change your mind, but there's this stance of like, how dare you? And I'm like, chill out, it's cool. As Oprah says, when you know better, you do better. So yes, that's my 2 disclaimers I want to mention. I will say them in future episodes just in case the topics are sensitive or to remind people when they're listening. Structure. There will be a mixture of solo episodes and interview episodes. In season 1, I plan on releasing around 7 episodes. In season 2, I have guests booked on. After we have our hiatus, from friends to people who are experts in certain topics that I'm interested in, people who inspire me. Okay, solo episodes. This podcast is not about me. I will be sharing my thoughts on topics and things that fascinate me. However, this podcast will be about topics I am interested in and guests I bring on who either are experts or people who inspire me in general in life, as I mentioned. Do an episode about me in the future. However, for now, some information about me, your host, is number 1, I love interacting with people. I am passionate about change and creating a positive impact in this world and people's lives. I have done that in the past few years with an organization I volunteered for, specifically for mental health and young people's health, sexual health, physical health, emotional health, but mostly mental health. I have lived in different places, 2 continents. I've lived in London. I'm currently in the UK and I live in another city. I have lived in Kenya, I've lived in the capital Nairobi, and I've lived in Kericho. A fun fact about Kericho is it is home to the best Kenyan tea and leading in exports worldwide. So next time you go shopping, have a look out for Kericho tea. I have been in contact with people of different races, as you can tell, being in the UK and being in Kenya. And different religions too. I went to a school that was an Indian school for my GCSEs, and I have been in schools where there are people of different faiths, so like Christianity, Islam, Buddhism. I have been in contact with a range of different people, is what I'm trying to say. And I believe that gives me an interesting perspective on life because I have been exposed to different people, which I absolutely love. I love conversing with people. Being exposed and interacting with so many people has allowed me to do so. Another fun fact about me is I am an empathetic person. It does get overwhelming sometimes, but I love how empathetic I am. I wouldn't change it for a thing. It's one of the reasons why I am huge on mental health, human injustices, and anything of that sort. Yes, that's a bit about me. I hope that enlightens you. You'll get to know me more as we progress with the episodes, but that's it for now. Some topics I will cover in the next few episodes are mental health and sense of self. So stay tuned for that. I thought I should tease it a bit. There will be segments in each episode, and which I will go over in a moment. I absolutely would love audience participation. In the description below, I have linked my socials and my email address, whichever is easier for you. I am mostly active on Instagram and Twitter. Instagram mostly, to be fair, and emails, whichever is comfortable for you. Holla, reach out. I will be doing Instagram polls and questions on there, responding to DMs. So if you have any suggestions, if you have any questions, if you have anything you want to share, any comments, if you just want to say hi, drop by, send me a DM, send me an email, tweet. I can't wait to interact with all of you. My why for creating this podcast, you may be wondering, as I've touched on most of the other housekeeping things. Number 1 is mostly to connect with people. I love connecting and interacting with people. Actually, in February 2022, I went to London to visit my aunt. She reminded me of a story about me when I was younger. She told me I was obsessed with a show called Postman Pat, and every time she would take me to school or we'd go to the shops, and I'd see a postman, I would run up to them with excitement and be so happy. The postman was probably thinking, why is she so excited? But I hope it made him happy and excited. If a child runs up to me all excited because of my job, I mean, that's kind of cool. Till now, I told her it has not stopped. I have this intrigue with postmen or women. It's just fun there's something about seeing people, being acquaintances and seeing people day to day, even though you're not really in their lives, but you get to see them often. You're delivering letters to them, letters that could change their lives. be someone reconnecting, a big moment, people falling in love again, or family reconnecting. It could be anything, and it's so many possibilities, which is so exciting. A show I actually watched recently, which reinstalled or reminded me of the beauty of letters in this digital world we live in, is called Signed, Sealed and Delivered. I think I've watched a season. I haven't progressed, but it is an amazing. The show is based on letters in the US postal office that are lost, or if the address is torn or the letter is trampled, they take it to these specific special group of people and they investigate and try and deliver it however late it is. Honestly, the stories in there move sometimes to tears because it's so human, you know. That is me, and a short story about interacting with people. Also, I find myself having enlightening conversations that leave me in awe. And these conversations, they move me and they motivate me. And I find myself sharing these conversations I have with people who are close, people around me. Whenever I do share this information, we always end up having interesting conversations about life and just reflecting. And it provides us so much joy and happiness. And we reflect on this crazy journey we're all experiencing and living, which is cool. I want to share this with all of you. Another thing which I've probably touched on at this point in the episode is I enjoy learning about human experiences. Having real conversations with people about their journeys and their experiences is so fascinating to me. This will also be a digital journal for me to look back on and document my thoughts and potential journey. We will see how much I end up sharing, but as of now, the topics I'm interested in, the things I enjoy, all of this will be in this podcast. Another reason why I am starting this podcast is to have long, meaningful conversations that would provide comfort, joy, and hopefully help us all understand this life we live from different perspectives. Okay, another reason why I'm creating this podcast is for change and positivity. I always find myself asking, what do I bring into this world that without me may never exist? So when I see people or hear people's stories, I do ask them, what are you passionate about? What do you want to bring into this world that without you may never exist? And that sounds very dark if you think about it, but it's the truth because we're all here for a short amount of time. I don't mean to go all deep in this introduction, but it's true. What moves you and motivates you, it could be anything from handing out popcorn in a movie theater or cleaning or teaching, being the best at what you're good at. And yes, sometimes it's tricky to aim or be the best at certain things, but always striving to be the best version of you and doing your best to do what you do has a huge impact, a significant, beautiful impact in this world. And that motivates me. We're all so different. There's a reason for that, whether it's people's experiences, people's journey. It's just also fascinating to me. I also believe in using our voices for change, which is why I'm literally creating a podcast. My purpose and joy comes from helping people and being passionate about inequality and the injustices in this world. These topics anger me and make my blood boil. So I thought, what can I do about it? I plan on bringing people who are activists and experts in these topics to teach me, enlighten me and the people listening on ways to navigate or move through this world, things we can do about the organizations and what people are doing in this world to improve these situations. That's the plan. Hopefully with this we can make this world a better place as we all go through experiences that affect us all in different ways. With this platform, I want to speak and inspire people to live their best lives. Lastly, I want this to be a safe space and a positive place for people. I can talk to people about different topics and people can come on and interact and converse with me. We live in this world and internet can be toxic sometimes. I want to create my corner of the internet that is inspiring and full of joy and hopefully makes a difference in someone's life. That's the hope. Creating a space where people can tune in and join in on this beautiful community of people that motivate and uplift each other. Earlier on, as I mentioned, some segments I plan on doing. The first one is an interesting thing that happened in my week. This week, an interesting thing that happened is, can you tell how excited I am to share this, is vintage shopping. I went swimming this week, which is another thing I love doing. I went swimming because I haven't gone swimming in over 3 months, and I thought it's now or never. Like, you have to make time for things that you prioritize, and it brings me joy. We do things that bring us joy. I went to swim. On my way back, I saw this poster saying vintage pop-up, one day only, 70s, 80s and 90s clothes. I thought, what are the chances? I thought, I'm gonna go and see. Luckily, I went, I think 20 minutes before they closed off, but I ended up finding some really cute, comfortable pieces I like. I bought this 70s tracksuit. It's vibrant purple. Is it vibrant? It's deep purple, which is lovely. I love the color purple. And I bought this crew neck sweater that says, "Today is my day to shine." We love some positivity. Yeah, I got a few other pieces, some comfortable clothes. We did our thing. I am grateful for that. That is an interesting thing that happened this week. My other segment is something I'm grateful for this week is all the people who have supported me to create this podcast. You know exactly who you are. From buying me a freaking microphone, thank you for that, to creating my podcast cover art, going back and forth with me and checking in, to listening to me talk about this for literally months on end, to hearing how passionate I am about these things, to inspiring me and motivating me, to pushing me whenever I had doubt or fears or felt, we're human at the end of the day. I'm grateful for all of you, and thank you for being in my life, and thank you for being so encouraging and motivating. I am so grateful for that. My last segment is a word to the wise. For this episode, my word is, in order to get somewhere, you have to start. That's because I am officially starting this podcast and releasing weekly episodes. But trust me, I know how daunting it can be and how scary to start something new. But you have to try and see how it goes. This is cheesy quote, and I've seen it on a million people's Instagram bios. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Absolutely true. I literally asked myself over the last few weeks, I have internet, I have a computer that's thankfully functioning right now. I had issues with it, but it's cool. I have a mic, an amazing mic, and I have the passion for doing this, so why not? And yes, I did have my fears and things, and you have to start somewhere in order to learn, and it's all a journey and a process, and it's all in the journey. So I hope I inspire you to start whatever it is you want to do. It could be any, big or small. You've got this. I believe in you. You can do this. Thank you everybody for tuning in. This has been Authentically Blue. I hope you've enjoyed this introduction to the show. See you next week.